Just doing a little video after our big rain. We've had a couple of days of really light rain, and then we had a really good downpour today, half a day. And my plants are really looking good. My clematis is trying to come back to life. My peppermint. Mandevilla right there. And CB, I mean, little buddy is just all around me. Oh, my patient plant. It doesn't like the heat. And I probably should have put it in the house during those hot months, but it'll be all right. It's coming back. My aloe vera, I don't know what's going on with it. Look at this, how it's just curled over. I've never seen it do that before, where it just falls over and covers the top of itself like that. My mother of millions up there is doing pretty good and is putting out babies. Right there. So all these little, looks like little leaves coming out. That's the little seeds. Wherever they drop, if they touch soil, they'll put up another plant. And I've been meaning to put this in a bigger plant pot, and I just haven't done it. So when the seeds fall, they'll produce more plants, just like that did. I mean, that was the baby seeds from the big plant, and I moved them over here. And see, it's putting out its own seeds right there. You can see that right at my hand, at the edge of the leaf. It put out a couple of little plants that I moved over here to this pot to give them a chance. That's Mother of Millions. My walking onions down there. Oh. I got bell peppers here and a tomato plant, and I think I had Swiss chard trying to come up down in there. I don't know. Tomato plant there, and I had a squash plant, and it's trying to produce something down in there. Another pepper plant, 2 pepper plants, my melons, cucumbers. I mean, they're trying, you know. It cooled off a little bit and they're trying to come back to life, but I don't know how good they'll do. We'll just have to wait and see. And this one, it wants to go down no matter how much I make it try to go up. So I'm probably just going to have to let it go around the ground. My peppers. They're looking okay. I don't know if they'll produce anything. My greens. I got another squash plant there with blooms on it. And I've got Swiss chard coming up in there because the pepper died. Pepper plant there trying to survive, and a squash or melon plant that's come up. I think that's a winter squash. 2 of them, in fact. I think that's what that is. And then a pepper. Pepper plant smells good. It smells like a bell pepper. And I got a few tomato plants here just hanging on. Another pepper plant. Another pepper plant here. It was biting my ankle. Got a peppermint trying to come back to life right there. I've got a little melon and a pepper plant, bell pepper. I got some kind of squash going on there. My ginger. See, it was dying off just because of the heat, but since it's cooled off a little, look at the, it's coming back to life there. And I'm in ants. I gotta move. I've got peppers over there. That one going up my legs. I didn't put my boots on to come out here. I should have known better. And my Egyptian walking onions. Bell pepper here. My clematis is trying to live. Look at there, it's blooming. That's the purple one. And this is a lighter pink color on this side. It's trying to come back to life. Pepper plant. My basil that I trim back, you know, because I harvest the basil. Onions. Tomato plant there. Not sure where it's trying to go to. I keep trying to encourage it to go up, but it wants to fall over and go the opposite way than where I want it to go. Oh well, I'll have to come back out here when I'm not doing anything else and try to stake it up and see. These are like grape tomatoes. Let's see if I can just throw that up there. I put it here at the arbor so it would kind of climb the arbor, but it's got a mind of its own. All of it's got a mind of its own. It does not want to go where I want it to go. It wants to go where it wants to go. So I have to keep dealing with it. See, like that? These things will grow 12 foot tall. And I don't want it growing around the ground, that's for sure. Got to have some kind of a control over it. I just broke part of that off. Yeah, I got tomatoes in the cinder blocks coming up. And see how the tomato bush will come up from the base, even if the top of it is dead looking. And my tomatillo, I don't know. It's tried to produce little tomatillos, like right there. I don't know if you can see that. That's a little baby tomatillo right there, but I don't know if it'll do anything. It was so hot for so long on it. I don't have hopes for really any of the, well, some of the tomatoes may produce. I don't know about the tomatillo though. And I got some of my seeds coming up right there with all this rain. I don't know if they'll do anything, but they're coming up. And my greens growing in that pot right along with the tomato plant. Tomato back there with bell pepper. A bell pepper there with another tomato. And there's my tree collards. Look how tall that is out of the pot. It's pretty, isn't it? And there's that one. And it's got like 4 stalks coming up out of the ground from that one stalk that I put in there and rooted. My beets. My cabbage. There's another cabbage trying to head up. A cabbage. Cabbages. There's another cabbage. Bell pepper plant here. And it does have blooms. So, I mean, it's trying to produce some bell peppers. So we'll see if I get any. More beets. Tomato and a melon. Tomato plant there. Trying to come back to life. My bell pepper. I've got bell pepper all over the yard. I've got bell pepper this year like I had hot peppers last year. Beets. another green tomato plant back there. And there's my walking onions, my peppermint. Here's all my pepper plants here, my bell pepper. They're looking good. They're putting out blooms to produce peppers. So maybe I'll get a few bell pepper from now till freezing time. And that rose bush is not dead. You can still see green on the stem, so it's going to come back to life with all this rain. And there's my Egyptian walking onions. And look at those little bitty pepper plants. They got blooms. They're going to try to produce bell peppers. And look at that. He's going up a tree. First time I've seen him do that. And there's my other bell peppers. My tomato plants died off, but I do have a eggplant and a bell pepper plant right there. And here's my okra. Producing more okra, which I should harvest. Because if they get any bigger than that, they're going to be too tough. Let's see. I can break it all. Got 3 of them. And my eggplant right there. I don't know if any of my eggplants will produce eggplant this year. We'll just have to wait and see. And there I got my bell peppers, tomato plant, my asparagus. There's my bell pepper. And my squash, look at that. It's trying to produce. And I got one little tomato here. That just said, pick me and eat me. Bell pepper. Tomato. Look at this bell pepper. It's full of blooms. My blueberry bush has survived over the winter. Hasn't produced anything. I guess it's too small to do anything. It's one of those little dwarfed blueberry bushes. So, I don't know. It's the first time I ever tried to plant blueberries. And there's my tomato, my okra, Egyptian walking onions that I just planted. Tomatoes. See how the tomato plant's coming back to life at the bottom? Even though the top is still alive, but it was suffering from the heat. That one too. But it's coming back to life at the bottom. Bell pepper. Tomatoes. Those are the grape tomatoes. Or cherry. And see, those are the ones I was letting go to seed. These big ones. Got a couple on there that are dry that I really need to get off before they break open and well, I'll leave it. Well, I don't want to damage the plant, but I can't seem to get that off of there. Put these down here. See if I can put this camera down. Whoops. I'm not going to be able to do that. But a lot of times if you twist them, just twist them around, you'll break them off without damaging the stalk. But I saw in places where these These dried ones are starting to split open, and I don't want them to split open and drop the seeds. I want the seeds. That way I can plant these okra next year. Let me put that down just a second. See if I can get this other one broke off. I've already started, so I just as well. There. I'll get the other ones off when they dry a little more. But I got 3. That's going to give me quite a bit of seed that's dried already. And those 3 up there will give me quite a few seed. And I got greens there. Look how much it rained. It filled the buckets up. Tomato plant's gone. Plant something else in the pot. And like I said, I've got a cucumber. Look at there. Just put out a cucumber right there, a fat one. And it's putting out cucumbers along the vine. Especially down here that I saw. See? Got a bunch of little cucumbers. Vine there, and I'm not sure if that's a cucumber, a melon, or what it is, but it's with a tomato plant. I got peas trying to come back to life. Those are those foot-long ones. There's some there growing in the little bags. And I got some there trying to come back to life. I don't know if they'll do anything or not. We'll see. And of course, there's my basil, you know, that we've already harvested. And my greens that I planted in there, they're coming up. See down in there? I got little plants popped up from the seed. So I will have new Swiss chard and other greens coming up right there. And that little container's full. I'll end up rewatering that. And Bloomin' ordered a plastic cover that fits over this greenhouse. And it was supposed to have come yesterday. And it shows on their website that they delivered it from the email they sent her. But it never got here. I don't know where they delivered it. They usually take a picture of where they lay the item, so it's proof that they did deliver it. Well, they didn't take a picture. They just showed a map of where the house was located. And I said, well, usually they have that to find the location of the house. But I don't know. She'll have to check and see. Because if they delivered it somewhere else. They didn't deliver it here. And there's more, I think that's broccoli or some kind of green. Pepper plant, tomatoes, a rose bush, onions down there. Got stuff coming up with that tomato plant there. Peppermints come back to life. And look, that's putting out pretty new leaves on my rose bush right there. All of them should do that, like this one has. So all of them should do it, I'm hoping. And there's some seed that I planted down there. Tomato plant, pepper, tomato, clematis. Swiss chard I planted there has come up right in the center. Seed's not come up in that one yet. And I planted seed in that too. I planted seed in all the empty pots. But I haven't seen a lot of it come up yet. Let's put out another I need to stop doing this. I know better than to come out here and try to break the stuff off. Just like I just did that one. I'll end up damaging the plant trying to get the okra off of it. Yeah. There's one that's trying to put out there, a little one. So if you do give your plants a chance, don't pull them out the first sign that they wilt down from the heat. And see, that's trying to put out more okra. I put some seed in there, don't remember what, but it's not come up yet. Winter squash. Winter squash there. I planted Swiss chard up there with the clematis. I figured that would give the base, the roots, shade if the Swiss chard grew at the bottom. Pepper plant. Seeds haven't come up in that pot yet, or that one. But they've come up here, and there, and down there. Pepper plants come back to life since it's rained. I'll never plant a bell pepper in the bottom pot again. I mean, it can crow out the side, but still, my Swiss chard. Look at that. And I just harvested it the other day. I got to come back out here and harvest it again. Onions. Seeds I planted there have not come up with the kale. These seeds haven't come up yet. But I still got a Swiss chard there. The watermelon. I don't think the watermelon's going to do anything because it's too late in the season. There's those plants. And look at all these buckets with the runoff. They're full. The seeds are coming up in there. A squash. Shark fin squash. Winter squash. I think I planted another okra or two back there. Squash. And my basil. And I've got greens and something else growing there. I don't even remember what I put the seeds in. But that's a basil. And look at those buckets. And that's all from the rain runoff from these totes. That I can reuse that water. And I would pour it in my 5-gallon buckets, but I think they're full. Let me look. Yeah, it's full. So I don't have anywhere to pour it right now. Seeds haven't come up in there yet. I may use these just as transplant pots to thin out some of the other seeds when they come up. Like right here. Some of the seeds are kind of thick. So I may have to pull out some of the plants and thin them out. And I can move them over there. It's the okra. My bell peppers. I'm trying to do this and I've got... Oh well, my camera cut off with me because I guess I touched the screen trying to maneuver that bell pepper around because I had my hands full of peppers and stuff. But look at that, y'all. That means it's fixing to produce a squash. Hopefully it will, and it will survive this go round. Seeds are trying to come up in there. You can barely see that green poking out. Yeah, I got to get the plastic cover to go on this greenhouse. As soon as they can figure out where they delivered the greenhouse cover that she ordered. But see, most of these rose bushes will do that. They'll come right back to life if they've got any root at all that's alive. Now I know this green one here, the rose bush there is alive because it's still green. These two I don't know about. They're awfully brown. Unless they have roots that survived, I'll have to root more and replant those two. Now that one's alive. That one's alive. Now the white one, I don't know. The white one is questionable. It has a little bit of a green to the bottom down there. But I don't know if it'll come back. We'll see. But that one will, because the stems are all green, so that's going to put out more. It'll come back. I think this one will too. I know that one will. Part of it's dead, but there's a lot of it that's still alive, so I've got hopes on it. This one, I don't know. I just don't know about it. I'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to dig it up, though, right yet. Just leave it there and give it a chance. But you can see my few plants did love the rain. All my Malabar spinach coming up in here with my basil. And my other stuff in those pots out there has just died. I've just given up on it. I have no idea what's going to happen with rose bushes on the property line out there. There's only one that I've even got hopes of. But like I said, I'm going to leave them. If there's any chance that part of the root is alive, it'll put out another sprig and it'll start another rose bush. So, but that's the way they look. They're just brown. Now this one in the pot's still alive because, it was able to hold water in that. And I got a cactus coming up there. I dug all the cactus up years ago along this side of the property line or on this side of the lot because you couldn't walk through here. There was so many cactus. But they're pretty when they bloom, but they got stickers, and oh my God, you don't want those stickers stuck in you. Those things hurt. Yeah, I don't have any idea whether if they've got the roots still alive or not. And they're that way all the way down to the end. That very far one is still a little green. So, but I planted seeds in there, and they're coming up. And over here. And over there. So I'll have Swiss chard out here. Put these pots to good use with my moonflower. That's 2 moonflower plants. So, that's the garden update. We'll see what happens now. We're not going to get any more rain. Probably, there's no more rain forecasted this whole next week. It'll be in the 80s for a day or two. And then it's going to be up in the 90s. But at least that's not going to be 109, like it was. So, Please like, share, subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll see you on my next one. Bye now.